When you hear the name Hilton, you probably think hotels, right? And, fair enough. But what if I told you that name is also tangled up with world history, pop culture, and even plans for outer space? Let's dive right in with a bit of a riddle.
Okay, so what do a US president, the pina colada, and a space station all have in common? I know, it sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke. But seriously, what's the thread that ties all of these things together?
Believe it or not, the answer is Hilton. Yeah, that Hilton. And if you're thinking, wait, how is that even possible? Then you are in the right place. Because this story is about way more than just fancy lobbies and room service. We're talking about a brand that's been a front row seat to history, a hotbed for new ideas, and get this, even a blueprint for our future in space.
So where did this all begin? Well, like a lot of huge global empires, Hilton's story starts small, really small. Not with some gleaming skyscraper, but with one guy and a dream in the middle of Texas. You can really see the ambition taking off right here. It all kicks off in 1919, when Conrad Hilton buys his very first hotel, the Mobley in Cisco, Texas. But he didn't waste any time. Just 6 years later, boom, the first hotel with the actual Hilton name on it opens up in Dallas. The real power play, though, that came in 1954. He bought out the entire Statler Hotels chain, a huge rival. That move was a total game changer, basically telling the world that Hilton was a major force to be reckoned with.
But see, this wasn't just about buying up buildings. Conrad Hilton had a strategy. Put his hotels right in the middle of the action, in the heart of major cities. And you know what happens when you're at the center of everything? You end up becoming the background for, well, for everything.
And the range of history that played out is just wild. Just look at this. On one side, you've got the Washington Hilton, where the shocking assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan happened in 1981, a moment of intense political violence. Then you jump over to Amsterdam, where John Lennon and Yoko Ono held their iconic Bed-In for Peace in 1969. I mean, can you get any more different? A call for peace and an act of violence, both happening at a Hilton.
And the list just keeps going, it's amazing. John F. Kennedy gave his last ever public speech at the Hilton in Fort Worth. The Golden Globes? Yeah, they've been happening at the Beverly Hilton for decades. Fidel Castro literally took over the Havana Hilton and made it his headquarters after the Cuban Revolution. And who can forget the 1968 DNC riots, with protesters chanting "The whole world is watching" right outside the Chicago Hilton? It's like history wasn't just walking by these hotels, it was checking in. Okay, so they were a stage for history, but Hilton was also shaping the future in its own way. They weren't just a backdrop, they were innovators. I mean, check this out. The Hong Kong Hilton was the first hotel in the world to put a minibar in every single room. We totally take that for granted now, right? But back then, it was a huge deal, a complete revolution in what it meant to be a guest.
And hey, speaking of refreshments, you like pina coladas? Well, guess where that drink was invented? Yep, a Hilton. A bartender named Manchito Marrero at the Caribe Hilton in Puerto Rico mixed the very first one back in 1954. So next time you're sipping one, you have Hilton to thank for it. How cool is that?
The way Hilton is woven into pop culture is just massive. I mean, think about these moments. The world's first ever handheld cell phone call, made right outside the New York Hilton. That famous Elvis movie, Blue Hawaii, filmed at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. Even James Bond himself had a little business to take care of at the Istanbul Hilton in From Russia with Love. From groundbreaking tech to Hollywood blockbusters, Hilton was right there in the mix.
So all these stories are incredible, right? But they're snapshots, little moments in a much, much bigger story. So let's zoom out for a second and just look at the sheer size and scale of Hilton today.
Whoa, just look at that number. Over 226,000. That's not hotels. That's just the number of rooms under the main Hilton brand at the end of 2023. That is a massive, massive number. It really gives you a sense of just how huge their footprint is around the world.
So where are all these rooms exactly? Well, this gives us a pretty clear picture. Almost half are in the US, so you can definitely see its American DNA. But look at the rest. More than a fifth are in the Asia-Pacific region, another big chunk in Europe, and then you have the rest of the Americas, the Middle East, and Africa. This really shows that it's not just an American hotel chain anymore. It is a global powerhouse for sure. Okay, so after all that history, and with that kind of global reach, what's left? Where do you go from there? Well, for Hilton, the sky was apparently not the limit. And I'm not kidding. This sounds like something out of a movie, but it was a real proposal. They actually drew up plans for the Lunar Hilton.
a 5,000-room hotel on the moon. Yes, the actual moon.
And if you're thinking, okay, that's pretty out there, hold on. They also had this idea for Space Island, a hotel in orbit around the Earth built using old parts from the space shuttle. Now, obviously, these hotels haven't been built yet, but it tells you everything you need to know about the mindset of this company. They were quite literally reaching for the stars.
So when you look back from one little hotel in Texas all the way to a blueprint for a hotel on the moon, it's just a remarkable story. It's a journey through our own history, our culture, and our biggest ideas. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? With how fast the world is changing, what's going to happen next inside a Hilton? What stories are just waiting to be told?